Welcome, everyone. It is time for the insanity that is Monday night to begin. We've had quite the adventure thus far and are ready for a new chapter or new book, some would say, as we had a send-off for Mother Esme and many of our old favorites, some who have been here from campaigns long gone and past, have found themselves now retired and back to different places with a new class per se to take up with some old returning seniors who didn't quite graduate last time to come and have some fun. Actually, no, they're guiding as we have for Professor X's Paellans and Azok here to potentially lead a new team and into a whole new world of insanity. Our story type is based off Isira, to which we've been leaning heavily throughout this campaign and going into the future one, into Norse type mythology and writings. If you want any reference type, you can think of Beowulf as something that, if you understand kind of how a lot of that is written, Old English type of tragedy type writing, where there's always a price for victory, a price for everything. It works really good. So you can also think of it as kind of a very light dark fantasy as we've played it. But all that to say is that we're about to go into the heroic phase to show ourselves great things, which is how most of these stories start, with the great tales and stories thus far. So with that, we are ready to meet some new peeps, see the refresh of some old, and continue. So with this, as we move over into our there we go. So, okay, make sure the music was on repeat. As we go forward, remember, you can give those sweet channel points if you so desire, and we might use them a little differently to do some different stuff. So if you're doing anything that can go ahead and call something to question, or sorry, that we have to fill out a blank is what I mean to say, you can go ahead and maybe ask a question about a character and see if we can answer it and have a little bit of fun introducing them, some plot stuff and whatnot. So without further ado, we will begin. So let us begin our setting here. There we go. So we start the blowing of icy cold wind. As it moves across the sky, we see it freeze water droplets that turn into crystals slightly bigger than snow that begin to float and get down, reflecting light into every color, splitting themselves into prismatic shapes and producing the color of magic of Octarine that shines upon the clouds, the mountains, and what seems to be a very strange siding of metal, or is it stone? It's hard to tell, upon ancient wood that has been bowed and bended to form a powerful hull. We see below it is not ocean but clouds upon which it moves. Its powerful runes light up crystals that swirl around a ship. And here, it is sailing and moving swiftly within the sky, clouds parting. And what should be a scene of intense serenity and adventure, as we move on to it, we see fire and wing and blasts of immense measure as a creature. Large wings that seem to touch the peaks of mountains in between. Its hide is nearly rocky, and upon its belly are crystalline protrusions, each of which is a rune that is inscribed with adverse, almost reverse of the giant runes that we're so seeing. Instead of a lot of the roundish shapes, they're sharp and jagged, almost like the inscriptions themselves are meant to cut the eyes of those that might look upon them. And it roars to the ship below. Below it, we see a box that has similar shapes. A box that now lies flat. And apart from it is a locking mechanism, and staring up in abject horror, we see the boots and pants of a woman. And then for a brief moment, there's a flash of light as we are taken back just seconds before this look of horror went on to their base, and in which we see Jinx, Josh's character. How in the world did you break this box and let this beast out?
Well,
take the scene.
I've been hungry for days now, and I promised my brother I wouldn't eat anybody of the other members of the ship. And I really, he said not to open the box, but I heard something in there, and it sounded a little yummy. And so I just kind of sat there, and I took my fingers, and I just started taking my claw and just poking until finally it broke. And then it was a little bigger than what I thought. He's gonna be mad.
I like it. And with that, actually, I think in here we're going to do whoever gets to go first. We're just going to make you first in initiative. I think is the best way to do it. So we're going to start with the 30. We're going to assign Jinx the 30 for the purposes of this. And you see this creature. It roars its terrible roar. What do you do?
Damn it. And she just takes her giant greatsword from her back. As she bonus action draws it along her spine and taking damage and dragging it up, clawing, leaving the scar, and you watch it just start flaming around. And she is going to start charging. How far is this creature?
It is within melee. But or you have to run. You tell me. Do you need to run? What do you want it to be?
She is going to be jumping. So you then see her start. Since we're on a ship, you see her leap, grab onto one of the paddles that are holding up the big thing, the tarp. The sail. She starts jumping off the sail. Each one of them reaching through the sky with her greatsword as she comes driving it down. So, recklessly, may I add. First one is a 16.
Oh, coming down very hard as we see a series of sparks fly across the crystal, cannot penetrate the skin.
And she drags it around and tries to shove it in behind her, doing a swinging attack again recklessly. for a 23.
A 23. This time, steadying your stance, coming in very closely, ready for the familiar fear of flesh, and you hit more crystalline stone. Does not penetrate their armor class.
Oh. That's my turn.
Okay. With that, seeing the failure here of for seeing this immense creature, seeing Jinx go headlong in and sparks fly, and their practice sword unable to penetrate its skin, somebody's going to react in a unusual way before they join the battle and take us back a few seconds where you were watching them do this and your reaction to this whole thing. So what were you doing just as Jinx was doing this? We said rollies, so let's do it. 1, 2, 3. That is Galadriel.
Galadriel, you see just shortly before she's actually leaned up against the corner with the teacup in hand and little side with her staff next to her and just sipping it with the leg up against there, just watching Jinx curiously because she's never seen anyone quite like her. She's got a little, like there's a floating book next to her with a quill in it, just writing down notes. You see, as soon as the box are up, she just says, "That looks like that can be fun." Was that what you're looking for, Matt? Or
you do your...
Sorry. And then you see her pick up her staff and say, "Well, looks like time to get to work." And starts humming as she kicks the back of her staff and bonus action blade sling. And then she's going to start spinning herself so fast it seems to throw a second staff that looks exactly like it at the creature for psychic lance.
Psychic lance, okay. Good.
That's a DC 20 intelligence saving throw.
Yeah, okay. You see the creature here as it moves. Perfect. As it moves and looks, and the crystals flare up as it's going to choose to succeed the resistance. Some of the crystals explode, weaving a magic counter.
All right. And then she's going to run.
How does she react to this adversity? Great, Jinx go, "Oh crap! Your thing is like you can do this absolute spell. What's she do when it doesn't immediately work?"
She's going to Okay, so what are you looking for? Sorry.
Sure, I'm looking for maybe what gods do you curse? What, is it swearing? Is it something like, "Sorry, didn't mean to disturb you"? Some type of reaction, how you react to the fact that this was going to work and this thing resisted this very powerful spell.
You're going to hear her say, "Vortimir, why did you have to warn it that it was coming?" Just speaking to the voices in her head.
Oh, you love it. All right. And then what do you had movement?
And then she's going to run it, and as she's doing it, it looks like she's just ballerina spinning all the way around it, using magic and like bouncing around like the walls and cages it between her staff and herself to get behind this thing. And then end her turn.
Perfect. In that case, it rears one of its many claws. And as it comes down into the ship, it breaks through the top deck. And okay, coming down as it uncovers, it's going to uncover Paellans. So you're below Dax. What are you doing, and how do you react when this claw just comes from above and exposes you?
At the time, Paellans is kneeling, hands clasped in front of him, surrounded by an intricately painted arcane circle. And the ink used for this ritual is revealed to be his own blood, and his left hand is still actively bleeding. And he is in the middle of reaching out through the cosmos for assistance. He is entreating some dark force, the one who falls and yet rises, the Prophet King, the Undying One, to send him God Killers, Titan Slayers. And as he's making contact, I think that's when the roof is ripped off of his world, and just kind of mouth agape as you know, the ocean starts pouring in on him. He realizes, oh damn it, I shouldn't have left her alone.
It's not the ocean, but the ozone. The ship is flying.
Oh, okay, amazing, yeah. Even more disruptive than as he's like buffeted, and I think all of his meticulously organized papers and documents are like swirling all around him. Yeah, Paellans like a early 20s human male wearing half plate and the holy symbol of Ayun inscribed on his shield, and then in his right hand he has a very formidable staff, which he will begin wielding, just instinctively firing a quick succession of strangely empowered firebolts at this creature, all the while cursing under his breath. So that's going to be oh wow, that's a natural 20 on the first one. Amazing.
Nice.
Oh.
So it's automatically max damage, Matt, for this new thing we're running, or
Max, and then you roll the damage dice.
okay? So that would have been 60, 10, and then I'll roll my 3d10.
So 60 automatically.
So 60 plus 15, that's 75 points of fire damage for the first one. And then
Wait a
his
second here, actually.
Oh.
It'll be that, and where's this thing? Here it is. Yeah. You put this out, and as you do, the crystals upon it glow bright, and the fire swirls around, and reflects back at you that fire damage.
Oh, magnificent. How unfortunate. Could I like react to it and counterspell it, or is this just happening?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay. Yeah, I'll burn. I'll burn it. I'll
So
counter.
you're counterspelling your cantrip.
Yeah.
I love it. Ah! So give me flavor. Give me the flavor.
Yeah. I mean, he's instinctively cracked off a firebolt from the staff in a very probably like impressive, almost martial pose. And then as it fails, he loses all pretense of decorum and composure, and kind of flails back over the arcane circle, and is burning a much higher spell slot than he should have, trying to defend against his own cantrip. And as he kind of tumbles over backwards in front of his cloak, he is going to, as a bonus action with his bracers, make a much more careful, like targeted attack. And this is going to be a second firebolt for 23. I don't think that hits, right?
That does not.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. So yeah, hasty attacks made. He's going to dart for a corner of the room. Oh, that's not true. He knows Jinx is out there. He's going to attempt to rush up to the deck to have better visibility. All the while kind of shouting, raising the alarm for everyone to prepare themselves.
All right. Shouting, raising the alarm. You run up as the crystals are breaking, dealing 18 slashing damage as you move your way. And it, raising its arm, tears through some of the walls of the ship. The inner walls, not the outer. So it's keeping its integrity, but it's going through this ship. And the room we find next is Azak in a position that should make us laugh, or at least make Azak red. And it is up to you.
Well, put in that kind of situation, I think this is a moment where uncharacteristically Azak is trying to fill some kind of like mentor position. So he's with Gresh, the goblin that he saved a while back from the Iron Authority, and he's kind of just going over rudimentary training in his druid craft, and just giving some sort of lessons here. And as he's kind of just like producing just some gusts of wind, kind of just give this big elaborate story of like the druids he's from. The wall kind of cracks right next to him, and both of them kind of instinctually kind of just fall backwards for a second, and they're like, "Oh, okay, class is over. Let's just stay behind me." And then he is going to, I guess, what can we do here? All right, we're gonna try blighting this dude. So from he's gonna kind of just rake something against his ribs at a point where some necrosis is bearing on his eladrin body, and then points to the creature, and it needs to make a 18 con save.
15.
Okay, they do fail.
Right. That will take effect.
Yep, and let me just double check. That is 8d8 necrotic damage coming your way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Find them faster, Ross. Find them faster. There we go. Okay. 8, 18, 27, 34, 5, 6, 37. 40, 41. 42 points of necrotic damage to this thing.
Nice.
And yep, that is going to be it. And I think once that happens, Azok is going to take Gresh's hand and kind of just pull him with all the strength out of this room through his front door and starts heading upstairs to the top deck.
Okay. All right. As the blight moves forward and bursts of this flesh move out and splatter, we see a figure get covered in the nastiness. And that is our first shot of Terabell. Do the before and the what happens with it.
All right. I have no idea where I am. Where am I?
Wherever you want to be on the ship.
Oh, okay. So I'm just off on the deck, and I've been paying attention to the whole fight because I can't be surprised, so I'm just kind of watching everybody do their thing. And I'm kind of happy now that there's finally something to do, as it has been a very boring ride. And so I'm just kind of looking around. I go and I will, as soon as I see an opening, I'm going to go run up, grab a chair, look at it, toss it aside, pick up a table, and I'm going to run, jump up into the air, and smash this table down.
All right. Give me who is somebody at the table that you are that might cause you trouble later, that you interrupt their meal?
It's this big orc who called me tiny.
Yes.
The first time I
So we
got on
see
the
this-
boat.
Tiny.
So as I pick up the table, I very purposely knock him in the chin as I lift it up, and he just falls over. And I
love
just
it.
run up, and I just go to smash this table down on this creature
All right, let's see it.
using my haymaker. All right. That is a 24.
24 comes down, starts moving through the crystals, but just stops short from hitting skin. A miss.
A miss. Well, then I will grapple him.
Okay, you can grapple any size, is that correct?
Yeah.
So I thought. All right, roll it. That's athletics.
All right. That is a 28.
They only got a 23. All right, this thing is immense. Oh, bigger than the ship. What's the technique you use to grapple it?
So as the table smashed and didn't do anything, she just loops around using the table as like a pole to get behind his back. Uses her tiny arms to loop around his upper limbs, and she is holding him so he is unable to use those arms.
You
Really
got it.
unable to do much of anything except for, because he's restrained.
Right, he's restrained, so he's a disadvantage. Yeah. You do that at that point. You and the ship and the creature begin plummeting towards the ground because speed is 0. So it is way too much for the ship. Going into a tailspin around. But that is 5 rounds of falling before death. So you're okay. So what do you anything else?
I mean, I'm on his back, so if we fall, it's on him.
It's on everyone.
Well, it's mostly on him.
That's terminal fall damage for everyone involved. All right. So go through, and then that's if that's everything. This would have caused a slight zero gravity effect for everybody else, and so what will you do that's going to be the worst thing possible when the zero gravity effect happens, and then how do you react, Monty?
So Monty was sitting just over behind some crates, kind of down, trying to stay out of everybody's eyesight. He was carving some runes when all hell broke loose. He just looks up and goes, oh, shit, not again. And he, of course, the zero gravity effect kind of raises him up a little bit and it makes him even look larger as he bonus action giant's might and grows large. So now he's about 15-ish feet tall. I guess he's somewhere right around 20, 25 feet away from this creature, I would say, if that's okay with you. He sees everything that's going on, and so he just, he takes the shield off his back. He takes this shimmering glaive, and he wields it in one hand and slices out and attacks the creature.
Got it. Let's go.
Uh, 24 to hit.
24
right.
comes out, does not make it.
Oh. So he'll kind of lets it, swirls it back around his head, and he comes back for a second swing.
Yes.
That's going to miss as well.
All right. Shattering more crystals on it.
He'll take his next swing, and that'll be a 27.
That penetrates the crystal, and he finally cuts through with your blade. First blood.
That'll be 14 points of magical slashing damage plus D8. 2 points, more points of damage. And he'll just look at the person on the back of this huge creature, and he just wiggles his ears like, really? And as he watches the grappling take hold and notices that his fur is starting to kind of move in an upward trajectory as we plummet.
Excellent. All right. Then we are going to go back to Jinx. As you are falling down, now we have an initiative order going. You are looking, I imagine you're seeing like the back of Terabel's hair flying, and that body, that grip, the hair flying. This is not the first time she has done something that has totally made a bad situation worse, in your opinion. Give us a memory.
Yeah, the first time was when we were at the bar, and I was, again, hungry and found this very charming person, and she thought I was trying to fight with him. And so, I'm sitting over there trying to talk to him and get my feet on, and she just comes over and decides to punch him in the face. And all of a sudden, a brawl in the bar broke out, and I didn't get to eat then either. And as I start seeing this and my eyes start going red and orange and becoming very canine-like, I let out, and you watch as I just grab the kind of my face and tear it apart, and you watch a wolf come underneath rising out underneath of me, and just dripping, and still having this apron on that's dripping in blood the whole entire time. Never stops. I put my sword behind my back and go, "Let's get it on." And so, do I have advantage on these attacks because he's grappled?
Yes, restrained.
Yep. Okay, so yeah, I'm just going in with my... Now you see my claws are being on fire as my blade goes away, and I'm just letting 2 attacks go recklessly. First one is it's a natural 20.
Oh,
So that's
yeah.
going to
Yes!
be 16 plus 8 is 30, or 24 plus 12. So
Let's go.
and that's not including the fire damage. So 24
Same
plus
deal on the
12 is
fire
30.
damage. All the dice. Yeah.
Okay, so then that would be an 18 plus another 11. So 29 on the fire and 36 on the slashing on the first one.
Nice.
She just tears into this creature, and then second attack is going to... let's see if I can crit. Not a crit, but that's a 29 to hit.
Yeah. Doing this, you open up a hole instead of going elsewhere. You just keep digging into the flesh of this thing, trying to rip it apart. What's the damage?
So that is going to be 8 fire damage and 12 slashing. She just digs for claws in more. And yeah, that will be my turn now that I am woofed out.
You got it. All right. In that case, Galadriel, in the time before it took you to get here, this is not the first time that you've seen Jinx take on this feral wolfish form. What was it? What was the time where you first saw it? What was your initial reaction, and what was the resolution of that? You can also role play it out with Jinx. Josh, you can jump in on this RP scene.
Yeah.
You so desire.
I feel like the initial time was soon after the whole banquet thing with Mother Esme occurred. She was approached by Paellans, and as they had started out going, she tended to wander off alone, where news had reached his old frenemies at the Cerberus Assembly, who sent Voltstrucker agents after her because she had escaped, and using that much firepower definitely brought attention to where she didn't like. And as she was able to manage to take 3 down, she was on her last breath when all of a sudden, out of the middle of nowhere, Jinx appeared and transformed and took down the last 2. And ever since, she has been studying curiously all of that, which is why she was originally watching her in the first place.
Amazing. All right, you can take your thing. Remember, if you can use something from this to give you a combo, whatever, you can get an automatic crit, but it's up to you. So, what do you want to do, Galadriel?
I feel like while she was fighting the 2 agents, when you're looking back at it, you see her going in the wolf form, but they're like jumping on her one after another and summoning things to try and hold it down. And all of a sudden, you see a white owl come out of the middle of nowhere and come shooting through with the vampiric claws, and it hitting one of them at full force with the vampiric touch, and she's doing the same thing now to this creature. Because the tactic worked last time. Is that what you're looking for, Matt?
Yeah.
Or-
So if you're remembering that this joint tactic of her and Jinx. So take your crit.
Alright. So you said max damage first and then dice roll?
Yep.
Alright. She'll expend a 5th level slot for this. Alright, so that's 30 plus. You see that through the wind and the storm, she's been beaten a little bit, and as it hits for 47 points of necrotic damage,
Nice.
she just regains some of her form, and the clothes on her just like start stitching itself back up and to make her become immaculate again.
Nice. So it's 47 necrotic. Anything else?
Nope.
I don't know if there was weapon damage on top of that or not.
I don't believe so.
Okay, so was that just your smite?
No, that was a spell. Cast via familiar just for a flavor text.
Okay, gotcha. Perfect. All right. Very good. And now the creature rolls, and with disadvantage is going to strike out. It whirls, and what I'm going to do is, let's see here. Let's see. It's going to make one roll here to see how it does against your armor classes. Oh my gosh, y'all. That is a natty 1.
Hey!
Because of the restrained disadvantage.
Lol.
So,
Yes.
all right. Tara, you're
you,
in
Jackie.
charge of how you cause the nat 1. Everybody else, you're in charge of how you dodge out of the way. We'll start with Tara, then we'll go to the right to Paellans, then Gladriel, and so on. So, Tara, lead it off.
All right. Is this my turn, or do I just say what?
This is just narration, this natural one that you just caused.
Okay.
So it's not your turn.
All right. So as he tried to turn, I would have just tightened my grip around his neck a little bit with my little footsies, and just kind of grinned and leaned forward into his ear and just said, "Thank you for not making this boring."
I love it. Yeah. All right. Is there any? Yeah, I like it. So you do that, and then everyone else, as it swings wildly, it's so unfocused as its neck cracks and the claws go. How do you get out of the way? Go and start with Paellans.
Watching all of this absurdity unfold on the deck, Paellans is reflecting on the ritual that he was completing in below deck before it was interrupted, which is one that he's repeated every day since the banquet. And he is remembering the explicit entreaty that he made. And he asked whatever entity was available for allies. And he asked them to grant me thine brawn, fierce as tempest roar, warriors unyielding, a relentless horde, with arms of steel and hearts of flame, to quell impending doom and chaos tame, allies like stars in the vast cosmic sea. Guide me, Dark Lord, let them serve faithfully. As shadows converge and perils loom nigh, let them stand with me, neath moon's silver sky. And this doesn't exactly match what he was asking for, but it's pretty damn close. And so there's this sense of grim satisfaction as he, in a daze, reflecting on the ritual, he just sort of casually sidesteps, and then I think an enormous, chunk of the deck just gets obliterated by the attack by this creature.
Love it. To Gladriel.
You see it, just this beautiful dance that is like spell gazing, but at the same time, like it just like momentarily you're looking at it and you're like, how can that be very combat effective? And as a giant claw comes through and it like the fingertips at her staff, the tip of the staff hits the middle of the clawed paw as it comes in, and you just see a burst of light, and the claw shoots back out, and she just keeps dancing as if it's just another Sunday.
I love it. Boom. Like a dance move to Monty.
So as he's pulling back the glaive from the hit, he's all the monsters swinging all kinds, and he'll see a appendage coming at him, and he'll take the shield and just kind of pin it up against the crates that he was hiding behind, and go, I bet she's whispering sweet nothings in his ear.
Amazing. To Jinx.
As the arms and claws come swinging at Jinx, she just opens her mouth and bites down, and her fangs go in a little bit, and she goes, ew, you're not that tasty. I regret this totally. Damn it. Paelans so right.
To Azak.
Trying to catch up to Gresh, and we're on the top of the deck, and we see just the giant limbs of this monster coming at us. Azak will kind of just lunging maneuver and kind of just grab the small goblin in one hand and kind of just put his shield up, and then as we make contact with the monster, kind of just roll through it, and then kind of just somersaults and like land upside down on our backs against some crates and be like, oh, okay. Stop running. Watch out. And just get back up.
Amazing. I love it. So, Paelans, it is your turn. As you do this, as you look at this, your memory goes back to the last falling ship you were on. And watching this fight, what's something that you remember from that is either similar or a contrast to what is happening? How does that push your next action?
Yeah, I think the echo is so striking to Paelans. And he will attribute this to the resilience of the prophecy that he believes he still inhabits. And that this is some kind of confirmation that this golden path that he's been pursuing is still viable. And he will remember the way that Shauna was able to interface with the broomstone to, somewhat contain the descent. And so in that way, I think, remembering his old teacher, he's going to look for like an arcane solution. And I'm wondering, Matt, if there's anything about these peculiar runes on the creature that Paelans could interact with, or if there's a means for him to reseal it within this Pandora's box. Like, if there's anything of arcane means that he could do outside of a direct attack.
Yeah. I'd love to bridge this with Monty, because Monty is very familiar with runic magic.
Mm-hmm.
And Monty, I'd like where do you feel like the two of you could work together to potentially work on this?
Sorry, I couldn't get my mic unmuted. Is this the scene back he's remembering, or what? Set me back
sort of,
up.
yeah.
Sitting there trying to get my mic unmuted, and I've lost what they were saying.
You got it. So it's kind of Paellans' turn. I'm kind of linking your turns, if you're okay with it, because they were trying to go, how could I utilize the runes upon this creature for magical or weakening purpose? And you're familiar with giant runes, and so maybe you see them do it, or maybe you've talked before. I don't know what you all have done to trying to link you two together in this task.
So the crystals were activating with all the different runes, and so we had worked on some runic magic, and some of the things that we were trying, because we didn't have the runes just correctly, and they were off kilter, it caused things not to work. So maybe damaging the order of the runes would be something we would have discussed and talked about, how the precision of the runes need to be for things to activate and work properly.
Awesome. So what I'll allow in this thing, because you two working together, one of you can go ahead and give their action to give the other a natural 20 on whatever they want to do to try to achieve this effect.
I envision Paellans as maybe foreseeing this, or like the serendipity of it all coming together, as he'll afford an extra glimpse, a little bit of foresight to Monty to empower whatever action he takes.
Okay. So I see in this moment you put forth, and in this link of your conversations, Monty, the weaknesses of every stone, specifically the rune ones, and how they might come together. And you see the exact places where you could potentially strike to make the arc of the runes make a different meaning. However, I'll say that it'll come down to the amount of damage that you can strike for the ultimate effect. But I will take that on your turn as you two plan that. Does that make sense?
Yep.
That good with you, Paellans?
Absolutely.
Yep. All right, Azak. You take it. See if you have something for me.
Yeah, I think I kind of want to hop in onto this because I feel like I have something that kind of connects all of this. Michael, I'm not too familiar with what your class kind of revolves around, but hearing back on your last turn, there was a rune that you, or just something you did to enlarge yourself, and it had to do something with runes that you were familiar with. I think when we've crossed paths for the first time, and you and Paellans were working on something that was with these runes on this monster. I think with Azok's limited but present understanding in Arcana, he kind of sees these lines of thinking connect with you two, and then wanted to take advantage of this opportunity. So if you are close enough, Azok will kind of get up, look towards you to see what you're about to make a hit on this thing, and then thinking back to how much time we spent with the giants, is going to summon in his own druidic way the powers that be to enlarge you, as I cast enlarge and give you some bonuses here. So if I do that, you are a size up than you are currently, and you get a d4 extra of damage with your attack.
Okay.
As what I think. What size are you currently?
I was large.
You were large. You are now huge. And then I'm just like screaming on the top of my lungs, hit that thing! And just kind of just pointing at this thing furiously while giving you the source of power from me.
That is fantastic.
Amazing. All right. Yeah. Terrible, I can give you a prompt, or you can go with your own.
I'd like to invoke a 20. How do I do that?
You have to you play back with a scene or conversation, something that relates to the combat from another player character.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, I think that when she was still in her gang days, she was doing a pit fight, and they had with them a large, I'm not familiar with D&D creatures, but some type of medium-sized to large creature they had brought in, asking for challengers, and
T-Rex.
All right, T-Rex, perfect. And so she just hopped in for the chance. And for a while, she was not doing too well. It just kept snapping at her, kicking her, biting her. But then she saw an opening to grapple it. And so she wrapped around its neck, similar to what she's just done. And she remembers using the Macho Man elbow to just bring it down against the back of that T-Rex's skull and just shattered it in that super powerful haymaker.
Okay. Can you? So the idea here, I want to add. Can you add like where another character would have been? That's in, or it's in the party.
I can do that.
The idea behind the invoke 20 is it links you to a character. See, it's a background scene that then links you just to one of the members, or plays off of something that they're doing.
Sure. Let's erase that.
All right.
We will.
Paellans' left eye flares, and boom, that entire reality overwritten.
If you'd want to, you could see somebody who you like see as doing as good as you from that. Like you see a kindred spirit and what they're doing now. If you wanted to link that, as long as like they just make a connection through it. That's all I'm looking for.
Yeah. Or actually, you know what? There might be another way to do this, I guess. She could link it to Monty. Maybe one of the first times that they were out in combat. Monty, everybody expected great things from Monty. Monty's huge, Monty's strong, Monty's got nice weapons, Monty's just a super muscular, hulking beast of a man. And so she'd noticed that they were all looking at Monty. They're all like, yeah, go Monty, go get him, Monty. And it really infuriated her because she was like, hey, I'm right here. I can punch things. And she watched as Monty was just able to like tear through enemy after enemy after enemy. And the whole time she was just trying to catch up with her halfling legs. And it just infuriated her. So she was like, yeah, I'm going to work extra hard to be super fast. And next time they're going to be looking at me. And so is that what you're talking about? I don't know what I'm doing.
I think those two things link well. And in this way you have, because I think it works because that's why you have this creature grappled. And this, so in this of keeping it so that no one gets ahead of you, you keep it like so everyone can do this. What move do we go into?
What move do I go into?
Yeah, so you got your 20. Where's your 20 going?
I'm haymaking.
Okay. Absolutely.
All right. Let's roll it. Oh wait, it's crit. No wait, no, it's max and then I roll. Okay. All right. So let's see. Okay, so that is a total. That is 119 bludgeoning damage.
Nice.
Wow.
What?
Okay, so the way you set that up, I imagine your fist is coming this way, which perfectly lines us up for Monty. Monty, we already established that you got the 20 by what you're doing for Paellans. So this brings Tara and Monty into perfect unison, like what Tara's wanted to have. So Monty, let's do it.
Okay. So as I see her do her thing, and it kind of opens an area, and I've pinned it. I see the runes. I take the glaive and I reach out and I penetrate right through with a critical hit. Now, tell me what I roll. So the weapon damage just with the dice is a 10 plus 9, so it'll be 19 points. Is that right? Or do I double it?
So it's 19, and then you'd roll the d10.
All right. And because it's a hit, I can do lots of different things on it. So the dice, because it's a hit, it's a D8, a D6, a D10, and a D4.
Okay, so you add all the max values of those, and you'd roll those again.
Okay. So 8, 14, 24, 28, and 28 and 19 is 38, 47. So that's 47, and then I got to roll all these things again. Here we go. Here's the first one. It is 7, 11, 58, and then D10, a D8, a D4, and a D6.
Yes.
Stacks on stacks on stacks on stacks.
That was terrible. 7 more points. So 65.
Yes.
Whoa.
No, Terabell got 119 points.
Whoa.
The joke's never going to get old.
It's not
for
a
you guys.
competition, but someone's winning.
Okay, very cool. So with that, the crystals shatter here, and in that moment, I think this is where Paellans, you run arcane power. And so the idea here is that the way that they shatter are kind of like low and up. And so from your perspective, Paellans, the 7 crystals that are broken were all had full runes. They now have partial runes. But from the angle that Monty instructed you to kind of go to, because the way runes work, you have, from your force perspective, they make 1 rune. And you're able to channel your energy through that.
Oh, cool.
All right. So what I'm going to let you do is roll me D100 for percentage, and that is the percentage of max HP this creature will lose
Okay.
because of the spell.
All right. All right.
The goal is to
guys.
roll high for this.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay. Here we go. That is hysterical. It's a 50.
That is a 50. That is 600 damage.
Whoa!
Squeeze me.
yeah.
It is officially bloodied.
Okay.
The effect here is it's the damage, but as you kind of think of, wait, like it had enlarged this, enlarged champions, he did this, and it reverses it to essentially a mega reduce, which reduces its size all the way down to huge.
Okay.
And so now it almost fits on the deck of the ship, which would cause the ship to actually no longer be falling.
Yeah.
It
Cool.
can't rise like it cannot gain altitude with this thing on it.
That's
But
fine.
It's definitely they are still grappled by Terabel, and we will go up and Josh, I want Jinx to have this. However, I would like to add an extra thing on it if you're up for it.
I'm always up for it.
I envision Shauna and Gothic watching this. There's so much happening from the life of those two, like mirrored here. Is there some type of like memory and maybe a blessing or something that you want to go ahead and throw a 20 to somebody?
Sure. Yeah. Because Shauna and Gothic, if Shauna's sitting there with a scrying ball, just checking in on Paellans after he's messaged her a couple times about, oh, I found this new group. They're pretty amazing. So she's like, okay, let's really check them out just to make sure. And as we watch and tune in at the right moment when Monty grows gigantically big, and she turns and goes, "That's right, huh? All right. I guess they deserve it." And she will throw a 20 at Monty.
Okay. Very cool. Now, Jinx, you can go ahead and have yours.
And Jinx, now remembering Terabel in all these pit fights, she enters her favorite words. I'd like to rage!
Yeah.
And she woofs out even harder, and the muscles just get bigger on this wolf, and she just goes into it. And she remembers when Terabel would love to take those swinging in forms, that she'd always try to tell her, go in with that double claw attack right before the knees. So that's what I'm doing.
Got it. So you can take your 20, yeah.
And I am going to, take my 20. So that will be 8 plus 10 is 18. Plus, and we roll, which would be a 13. So 18 plus 13 is 31. Plus then a D8 for fire. And that's 11 more fire, so 41. And that's my first attack. And also, since I'm raging now, the creature, as you see, and I hit it for the first time, my ancestors of Paellans appear in our family. And you see different versions of us, all from different realities. And now the creature has disadvantage on any attacks other than me. And everybody else has resistance from the damage that it lays out if they get hit.
Wow.
Ooh.
Nice.
And I make my other attack. So be like, let's go. That's a 28. So that's going to be 11 damage for slashing and 8 fire damage. So 20 damage more.
Nice.
Oh, and my magical slashing is all magical.
Yep, you got it.
Yep. That is my turn as I just rage out with Terabel and go, this is the best!
All right. Galadriel, what do you think you're up to?
Galadriel, while spinning and moving and all of this, is like, wow, it's been a while since I've had this much fun. But, you know, innocent lives and all that stuff, we should probably really end this quickly. And she's going to spin around, and I'm going to decide on who she's going to cast this on. It's either going to be Terabella, Monty, or Jinx. And let's go 1, 2, 3. Alright. So as she spins around, she just happens to see Jinx, and she taps her on the shoulder and says, "Well, next time, will you not pick the lock?" As she casts haste on Jinx as she's spinning and going under this thing right as it shrinks, so she has to like slide under it instead of just dance like she was expecting.
Awesome. I love it. All right, thrashing around. It's going to do same thing as the claws and bits go everywhere. It makes us roll with disadvantage. That is going to be a 23
Oof.
because it got a 4. And
Is it a single roll for everyone, Matt?
yes.
Okay. Is it so? Could I still reverse it?
Yeah.
Okay. I will
You can
definitely
still
do that.
rebarbs. I mean,
That's a little cheap because it's like for everybody, you know.
so it's not so much. Yeah, whatever. We'll just do rebarbs it. I just don't think it's going to work.
Oh.
I got the exact same roll, 23.
Well,
Shoot.
Jinx sees this and goes "Brr," and bites her lip really hard. And I'm going to use Blood Curse of the Eyeless. And I'm going to subtract a D. I'm going to take a D8 of damage first, as I take 7 points of damage to myself, and then I subtract a 5 from the attack roll.
Okay, so that brings it down to an 18, which misses everybody again.
Oh wow.
So I see that it's very cinematic already. As it goes, I think we're I think we'll continue here. So we'll go right to Paellans.
Okay. Let's see. Paellans is going to, he's going to level the staff of Magius at this beast, and at 8th level, he is going to cast Guiding Bolt, and it'll be so embarrassing if this misses, which it 100% will.
Jinx yourself now, bro. Unintended.
Oh man, that's a 10.
Because
So
it's a
bad.
holy spell. You can't hit
Yep.
a holy spell.
No, he cannot. He never will be able to. Yep. Well, Ayun has abandoned him. So he gathers divine energy in the base of the staff, and as it begins to converge and focus in order to fire, it like dissipates. And he'll just sort of like awkwardly glance around to see if anyone saw that. Dang, can't believe it. That's
You hear words in your head that go, "That's why you're a wizard." A wizard.
So true.
Wizard.
That's my turn. Wow.
All right, Azak.
Seeing guiding bolts fly all around. What are we gonna do here? Damn. Okay. So seeing all this happen, concentrating on the spell to keep Monty in his huge form right here. I think Azak is gonna kind of join everybody here in trying to hit this thing. He's gonna pull out a familiar rod to Paellans that he's seen him create weapons out of thin air with. He'll concentrate on it and then produce from that rod a longbow. Kind of just pull on that string, and it'll magically produce an arrow, and he'll just fire at the creature with that. It's a straight roll. There's no way I'm getting advantage on this, is there? I don't think so.
Restrained gives you advantage, right?
All right, cool. Let me just select longbow real quick. Longbow. There we are. All right. All right. That's a 28 to hit.
Nice.
All right. Boom. I need another D8. And I need a D6 for the Fire damage. Okay. 15, 16, 17, 18. 19 points of magical piercing damage and 4 points of fire damage added onto there. And that is his turn. Yep, that's all my bonus actions and actions there.
Very good. All right, all the fire and craziness going around Terabel as you've got it in your grip now onto the deck of the ship. What do you want to do?
Ooh, we're gonna do some attacks. Is what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
So I get advantage because I got him grappled.
Yeah.
All right, my first attack does pretty well. It is 32 to hit.
Yeah.
All right, so I slap him in the face,
Yeah.
and that
Right
does
through the crystals.
that will do only 10 bludgeoning. She'll smack him again using the other hand. All right, that one does 31 to hit.
Yep.
That one will do 18 bludgeoning, and finally, I think for this this last one, she can't really use her hands. Well, I guess she can because she's not restrained. It's very weird how this works, but yeah, I kind of envision it cinematically as she's kind of like reaches into her her little bag, and her little rat Margot like helps her by pushing out a bottle of beer, and she takes it out, notices there's a little bit left, takes the last swig, and then smashes it on this thing's head. That is a nat 20.
Yeah.
That is let's see, so that'll be added onto this. My improvised weapon. So that'll be 19 plus 14, which is that is 33 bludgeoning.
Good.
And bonus action is just to add another D10 of damage on that. So that will be an additional 6 bludgeoning on top of everything else. That's bludgeoning as well. Correct. Yes. So yeah, that's her turn. Takes her swig, smashes him in the head with her beer bottle.
Yeah. All right. Now, Monty, your runes glow as empowered by an ancient rune master that watches from afar, scrying down.
Okay. What? So is that a crit?
Yeah.
Okay. So you know, I'll see the lights turn up. I still have the glaive embedded, and so instead of actually pulling it out to do, I'll push it in even further. It's just striking as deep as I can into the creature. So once again, that's going to be 65 on the first, just for the roll, or the dice, excuse me. And then the roll is and those ones at 19, so that's 84 plus 14, so 98 points on the first strike. And then it's okay to have the second strike.
Yeah.
So now he'll pull it out all the way, and he'll do Great Weapon Master and attack and not hit. That's a 20 or 15 rather.
Do you get advantage because it's grappled still?
Yeah, I rolled with it. I rolled with it advantage for
Okay.
restraint.
With those two things, whoom, whoom, How do you want to end the light? Well, yeah. How do you want to kill it? Let's go with that.
Okay. So I'll pull it back and just thrust it right back into where the opening was. Just he has 25-foot reach now, or 30-foot reach now.
Oh my god.
push the glaive 15 feet into the creature, and his hand is just right outside the open wound, and he's just twisting it back and forth just to cause as much damage. And then it releases a burst of fire energy inside it, and you'll see it kind of heat up and then just kind of go and suck in and he'll chuckle a little bit as he watches terrible going up and just riding it like a bronco. He'll have fun looking at that as it stops moving.
All right. And it finally stops. And as you do this, as it's writhing, there's this pain and regurgitation as it spits out in bile that floods the deck, starts dripping off, and pushed out. You see an intricate bile-covered bag. It's stitched with beautiful crimson red on its sides, and it has what appears to be tribal markings of feathers, with the face upon it flat of what looks like an eagle of some kind. And it is latched. It's turquoise, crimson, and brown. It sits upon the deck of the ship. As the body of this creature begins to bend at odd angles and go back into this puzzle box. And glows. And you see the scars and things begin to heal in this defeated and depowered form. What would you all like to do?
Hop off this thing. That was easy enough.
I mean, I wouldn't call it easy, but it was sure challenging, though quick. Okay. I think Azog wants to look at that bag more closely. Just anything that he's seen anybody use something like that before.
Yeah. You inspect it very closely. You look close, you can see the stylized face of a griffin on the front. And it's very large, almost the size of like something you'd put on a horse.
Mm-hmm. As I'll kind of just like dust off whatever stuff has been flying off this creature at the very end here, kind of look at the griffin insignia and just be like, I've never seen anything like this before. I mean, I know what a griffin is, but I haven't seen anything specifically like this before. Paellans, do you think this looks safe to open?
Paellans actually distracted. He's completely focused on approaching Jinx. And he's trying to adopt like a more meek, non-threatening posture. And telepathically, he's checking in with her. Are you all right, dear? Is everything? Are you feeling yourself?
Yeah, hungry. I should probably change back, huh?
I think it would be for the best, and we can find something to satisfy you that's less less likely to get us all killed, eh?
Thank you. As you watch the fur fall away and her female form underneath be revealed.
As Paellans having the moment across the ship, Azog will kind of still being cautious because all of this just happened very quickly and that was a little bit intense. As he's going to concentrate a little bit and use his free identify through Mystic Conflux. Just what is this thing he's holding in his hands?
As you do that, you hear a voice in your mind. Oh, you found my bag. Good. It's for all of you now.
The magic voice. He's just like whispering to himself, the magic voice is telling me to open a bag. The magic voice is telling me to open a bag. It's for us. I assume this is good. And he, as he's saying this, just unlatching it one by one and looking inside.
As you
Paellans,
go
Paellans, your friend's about to open that bag.
Hurry up and open it.
Oh, 9 hells and looks like whirl around and rush over. I don't know if it's in time to do anything.
You open the bag.
As one would.
And you look, and it appears to be empty.
Dump it out.
Oh, that's right. I think I know what this is. And then he's going to, like he did back at the banquet, he's going to, he should have done at the banquet with all that shit going down. He's going to kind of fold this bag inside out and in the hopes to dump the contents from inside out onto the deck.
And nothing falls out. And you see that the flap with the beak of the griffin opens up and a letter pops out. Floats to the ground.
Ooh, I pick it up.
I am so confused. This is what I try and like use my abilities to try and learn the arcane. It just doesn't make sense. All right, read it.
What's it say? What's it say? What's it say?
Okay, you open it up. It lists the name Gerzak Kerim. The Empire of the Zam. Bottled greater restoration. That's what it says.
I guess these are the inventory.
Bottled greater resto. Well, okay, that's something. Definitely use a couple of those.
What's that empire thing?
That. Hell if I know. As like we'll kind of go to the bag and reach around and be thinking of the bottle of greater restoration.
And ding, ding, comes to your hand.
Bingo.
And the beak speaks. That's not for you.
Puts it back. Sorry.
Okay. I guess it's not for us. I thought this was for us.
I am for you. What's your
Oh.
problem?
The bag is for us?
Me? Yeah.
All right. Cool.
But shouldn't you're the bag that you belong to us. Ergo, is the contents that you hold also for us?
No.
No.
Is it for the name?
If you
that was
put it
written?
in, you can take it out. Like if you have something, I'll keep it for you.
Fair.
Oh. Okay.
But no. That's the delivery request.
We're delivering now?
If you want my help.
Okay. So where do we take this?
Do you not read?
Oh, is that what this is?
No, I just said delivery request. Can you not read? Because I was totally talking about something else.
Well, what were you talking about then? Stop beating around the bush before I punch you.
No.
Oh, let's go, little one.
Little.
Okay,
Oh,
how about?
all right.
What? We hired a bunch of hotheads, Palin.
Well, it's certainly effective. We can't argue with the results.
I mean, clearly they've won us over.
Yes. It's,
All right. Azak, you do get information from your identify spell.
Gotcha.
I'm putting it in loot.
Okay, cool. Nice. Dog Griffin saddlebag. Very nice. Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Has Galadriel ever heard of this guy that you, or the Empire? Either one.
I mean, Azak has.
So all I heard was Dwendalian Empire. I heard
Zarm,
Okay.
the
sorry.
Iron Authority.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. No, yeah. This belongs to the these crazy slavers that we had a run-in with down in South Tal'Dorei. These are some bad mothers. But no, I like this. Wait, the Zarm's the dude that we rescued from a while ago. Or am I thinking of somebody
at
else?
Shauna's temple, and that's who you dropped all of the goblins off with.
That's right. Sorry, I'm trying to play catch up here.
It's fine.
Whoa. Oh, well, guess I'll go out and say thank you. Or were you delivering it to him, or is this something from him? I'm still.
It's meant to deliver to this person in the Iron Authority.
Got you.
So Zarm is the name of one of the cities of the Iron Authority. You guys,
Oh, okay.
as Palin knows. Well, at least Azak does.
Yeah,
Just among us. And Palin probably from association from what you were doing.
got you.
So, your bag came with a job?
The bag definitely came with a job, and I'm. How far away? Like, where are we in the world right now, man? Like, I'm looking out. There was a lot of wind, and I heard snow before, but like, where are we in the world?
Yeah, looking out among where you are. We're gonna go back to the time after everybody was selected for this. Sitting around a large oak table inscribed with giant runes. After Palin and as like a selected. Going around, I would say, Palin Azak, why do you feel like what's the reason why you wanted each of these people aboard the ship? Or aboard or to go with your mission?
I think Azak is coming at this from a purely personal angle. When we gathered the three of Terabelle, Monty, and Jinx, and Galadriel was also invited to because she was with us during the coronation mishaps and whatnot. Azok would kind of just give an overview as to his history with the Iron Authority and the chain of events that led the previous party to go and storm this part of their under earth stronghold, and then rescuing all these kids and their parents who were getting imprisoned and forced to learn magic for these this Iron Authority, and how we made a promise to those that we rescued to go back and save the rest of their people, all these goblins and hobgoblins that are trapped under the earth. And I guess this really just is like a recruiting mission, a recruiting effort, just to see if anybody would be crazy enough to even go into the unknown, into the wilds of South Tal'Dorei with two strangers like Paellans and Azok.
All right. So then let's go around to those that were found. And why don't you set the scene and start to go back and forth with who you would pick, Paellans or Azok, who found you. You set the moment they found you. First.
Jinx kind of found Paellans. She came through the Feywild, but she originally came through the Mist, where she grew up. And why she was traveling into the Feywild, and she came across a carnival she worked for at one point, where a lady mentioned a man that looked very familiar to Paellans, to her, and who she once only known as an image and a name. So she went looking for him, which then led her to tracking him onto Isilra, where she followed him and stalked him pretty much, not sure when and the right move to make, until we did make our first connection.
I think it would have occurred, of course, shortly after the events of Esme's coronation, when, upon Goodnight's death, Paellans was reeling, and his certainty about the future and this great design that he was serving was shattered. And so he was casting out desperately for a sign that all was not lost, and there was another path forward. And he began reaching out in increasingly darker directions. And he made an offer that he didn't care. It mattered not how awful or how much suffering was necessary to bring about the solution he needed. And then, stepping through the mist is this absolute confirmation of some of his worst fears about what it means to fail the people that he cares about, what it means to pursue success at all costs, regardless of the collateral damage. And even as, conflicted as he is about, quote unquote, Jinx's presence, he feels this terrible guilt every time he considers what it took for her to get to him, and when he considers what it will cost for her to aid his goals. And so when he first regarded her, I think it was just, I think he was in denial. I think he was utter shock. Are you here, truly?
Big brother, I found you. This time you're not getting away from me so easy.
No, of course not. I never would have left you had I had another choice. How are you here now, and where have you been?
We'll speak more of where I've been. Time's not right. That's a longer story. But just know, I've walked through the plains to find you. You chose a weird one to land, by the way.
Yes, it has not been as expected, certainly. I hope you'll pardon my rudeness, but there's something that I must confirm. And he approaches her and is going to. Is there anything visible around Jinx's neck?
Yeah, she's wearing the little star thing you gave her as a kid.
So it's a small drawing compass that one might use for a star map, and he's going to invert it and check for the inscription. And it's his own work. Oh, what have I done? But no, it is. You've arrived at the exact right time, I suppose. Let me explain. I suppose why we must all be here.
All right. I think we take that and let's go to the next person. Whoever would like that to be.
Monty and Tara draw straws.
Rollies.
So once Galadriel had joined, she and Monty had been traveling together. So she would have introduced him to Azok, and he would have, let you know his mission is straightforward and said, my goal is to take my foot and strangle the last breath out of the Iron Authority. They've killed and enslaved my people far too long.
Azok will listen to that statement and kind of move over a bit and look over to the small goblin that's in the corner that's kind of finicking with a necklace that Azok gave him. And regarding him, Azok will tell the story of specific circumstances that led to the escape that they all had commenced with this first group of goblins and the terrible price that had to that happened to the majority. And Azak will kind of just finish it off by saying, it's weird to have a personal stake into something that wasn't ultimately something I was destined to face, but when life hands you obstacles like this, you have to say screw it and face them. The Iron Authority is one of two things that I want to accomplish, but I want to promise you, Monty, that I will do anything I can to save your people, as I have promised those that we saved. Plus, I feel like, given someone of your ability, from what Galadriel's probably mentioned to us, you'd be a cool addition to this group, because we need fighters. We need motivated fighters.
Motivated is what I am. And if I can stand in the way while we take down the enemy, I'll be happy to press on and continue to help.
Excellent.
Terabell.
Yeah, how does Terabell fit in all this?
All right, so I think firstly, this gloomy music needs to be a little bit more upbeat for Tara, because this would have happened probably in a tavern, an inn, probably shortly after you all had left the where the giants are, and you were probably looking for someone with some stealthy criminal type connections, someone who could break into things or steal things easily, so Tara is one of the people you would have probably been introduced to, and she would have been in a corner at this pub. There's probably several empty glasses at her table, more glasses than there are people.
Mm-hmm.
And as you sat down, she would have leaned forward and put her elbow on the table and said, come for an arm wrestling match?
I think Azok will kind of be the blunt one and just look at your small form and flatly will just say, you're serious.
Why wouldn't I be serious?
Ma'am, you were about a quarter my height. And he'll put his elbow out and then assume position to reciprocate the arm wrestling. He's like, this is gonna be a new experience as first meetings go, but why the hell not?
Yeah, and you can tell you've definitely angered her. So yeah, she grips her hand onto your hand, and she just starts grinning as she's putting more pressure and pressure on your hand before she's even started, because she knows that you're about to realize what you've gotten yourself into. And as soon as the person next to us says, "Go," I mean, we can roll it out to see what happens.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Is it
Athletics
athletics?
checks. Yeah, those
Yeah.
athletics.
Natural 20 for a 26. Sorry,
No
25.
way.
I got it at 20 as well.
No!
I
For
got
total?
a 37.
Oh my god.
Okay.
We're
So
breaking
I-
this table.
Yeah, I see this as Azak, like you give like your absolute perfect stance. Like you've never before been able to harness more power from your
Making
body.
my orc ancestors proud.
Yeah, it
Oh.
is immense. And as you put everything into it, I'll say and then go red-faced Tara, you can kind of give the next step.
Yeah, she realizes that you're strong. And she can at least respect that part. So she thinks, okay, I won't break his arm. And so as you're like pushing and pushing and pushing, she's like going about half force. And then she just kind of winks and says, "You ready?" And then she slams your arm down.
Oh my god. And I feel like that's enough force to like kind of splinter the table a bit.
Oh
and-
yeah, the table flips up,
like-
hits somebody in the chin. It's
Oh. And like this probably could have broken somebody's arm at this certain point, and like Azak kind of, and like there probably be like a splinter going into like just under his wrist, but Azak kind of just like looks at that, not even like giving it like a more another thought of it, and kind of pulls out like a 3-inch splinter out of his arm. Okay, flicks it.
Izzy told me you were looking for somebody who's good at, well, taking things they've earned. And I only have a couple of rules. Rule number 1, nobody calls me small. Rule number 2, don't look in my bag. And rule number 3, I'll let you know when I come up with it.
Did Izzy tell you what this job would entail? Or is
Not
she
really.
confused at that? Well, it's almost certain death that we're walking into. I have no idea what these people are doing right now. It's been, I want to say, in world time, maybe a month, 3 months, 4 months since we've last seen the Iron Authority. And they probably are anticipating our arrival. So it's going to be a challenge.
Okay. So
We're gonna-
are there
Any downsides?
Downside is I didn't promise money.
Oh, well, I can take money.
Okay then. We leave in the morning because I'm buying you around after all of that. And I feel like just to seal the deal, just like for camaraderie sake, Azok will probably spend some gold to like buy a couple of rounds for the table, whether it be whoever. I think probably Paellans would be here with us since we're also recruiting some of you and maybe whatever's here.
What is your passive perception?
20.
Okay. So she says, okay, you can buy the round, but you're going to need your coin purse back. She gives it to you.
There's a moment where Azok kind of just looks and then is reminded of another person in a former party that used to do that.
By the way, I don't steal from my own gang. So if I'm part of the group, that's cool. I was just doing it because this is a job interview.
You've already proven your skills tenfold with that.
Well,
Can I also? I have a rule: don't steal my coin purse.
hey, that's fair. And all I need to know is basically one thing, and that's just point me at the enemy.
You got it. Azok, by the way, this is a kind of quick thing, and he'll put his hand out.
She lightly shakes your hand.
Okay.
Okay. And so with that, we come back to the table. And there you see a older blue tiefling woman who some of you know as the Awakener. She comes in, Talia, she goes, all right. Paellans Ezek, this is who you've chosen.
It is. Trust me,
Yes.
they're all capable.
A few things. Are you still the rescued fallen? This addresses to all of you, because all of you must own the name.
Maybe we're the rescued risen. Or I don't know.
The rising fallen?
I don't know. That sounds like we're about to fall. Are we about to die?
I mean, rising means we were falling. Now we're not.
That's true. Oh, I like that. Rising.
Brother, you've first seen this, obviously. You put us together. What's the name?
Yeah, Paellans, you've thought about this.
I actually have. I was considering just the risen. And I think actually in character, Paellans looking down at his left hand where it rests on the table, and he's remembering the ritual that Meehan performed once we finally arrived past the gates of Vasselheim, where a dagger was drawn across the left hand of everyone who had survived the journey. And that scar is now one of many. And it doesn't mean what it used to mean. The line has been broken and a new one needs to be forged. Well, we mean to break the authority, no?
Absolutely.
We're the rebel rousers. How about a fistful of Frodos?
What? I've never heard such slang. What do you mean by Frodos?
I don't know.
Rebel rousers. That I kind of like it though. Paellans, was that the name?
It is one of many potential. Then it'll serve us well.
What about the Rising Reckoning or the?
What about the Rising Rebels?
Rising Rebels.
Yeah, I was just trying to work that risen, rising stuff into stuff, and yeah, it's something.
Well, symbols do have power.
Say again, Michael.
The rising tide. How about that? Especially I can come up with this like.
I don't know. It sounds way too much like Roll Tide, and that would make me very angry.
Roll Tide?
Hell yeah.
Is that some kind of toilet paper?
Yes, actually.
Yeah, the Alabaster Lyceum was not an SEC school.
Oh man.
Maybe we should think about this a week and get back to this Awakener lady.
Well, a name is powerful. It'll follow us. It'll carry us. And
I mean, even just the Risen sounds cool, or the Rising, or the.
I'm married to the Risen. I kind of like that.
I do
well,
too.
considering it was my first suggestion, I'm quite fond of it as well.
You know, for slang, we'll call ourselves the Riz.
Oh, no.
Logging off. Logging off.
I hate to say that I love it now.
I do. The Risen with 2 Z's.
Okay, correct. So the Risen then.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't unhear it now.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
Very good. Then, follow me. And she leads you down many, many hallways that shift and move. If you've not quite seen this, it seems to always almost change, it seems, to her mind and will. Take you in the back corners of this grand castle in the clouds. And she goes, you chose the reason. There's an ancient story among the giants of the Rizayan, a grand wolf, king of wolves. He was known to move amongst the clouds, looking down on all his children. It was said he protected from those who would hunt his hunters without mercy. To take a life of the King of Wolves without protection, without need, was to invoke his everlasting wrath. It was a symbol among all giants of the harmony of no matter how powerful one becomes, you must treat others with justice. Never use it to take more than you need. It's no god, just a being, maybe spirit, maybe flesh. But for what you want to do, he might be right. So, and she opens up a large door as she shouts out, I present to you your ship, the Risen. And you see it adorned with a wolf with a large crown upon its head at the mast sail. Several sails on its side, runes all around, and ballista coming out the sides, as well as
Cool.
a large fiery ballista empowered by runic magic.
So I know we haven't described what our characters look like, but one thing about Tara, she's got like these long sleeve tattoos, and so she's immediate like, guys, we got to get like matching tattoos with like this wolf on it.
Oh, so I'm actually kind of good at branding people.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, we're that ready to make this official, aren't we?
Well, I mean, I've got like lots of affiliations I've branded myself with.
I mean, I'm technically his long lost sister, so we're kind of already blood related.
The ship is beautiful.
Yeah.
We have to do everything in our power to keep it from getting destroyed.
Absolutely.
There's a wolf on it. This is meant to be.
Yeah. Wolves. Are
I do think
awesome.
Paellans like
Thanks.
kind of quirked his head at all of the wolf symbolism.
She just called themselves Wolf Pack.
Azog's very tempted to just turn it to wild shape into a dire wolf just to make the circle complete.
Just vibes. Yeah.
Yeah. You pick the Ridzen, which means King of Wolves.
Nice.
I love this.
So, in this next bit, what we're going to do is you explore the ship, and each of you finds your favorite piece of the ship. When you find your favorite piece, you're going to officially add something. It's not going to be, artifact level magic item, but something that makes your ship unique. It can add functionality. It can add a lot of stuff. Like, so don't say it can't be something, but this is something that your character particularly jives to. That your character loves, that they find is on the ship. You can even say something you find and make your own, like add your own mark to it. That can work just as well. I do need you to keep track of that when you do so. But here we go. I'm going to put the 3 levels of your ship into the airship area
Ooh,
and
that's what it's for.
of Discord.
Oh, we have a new channel.
I didn't even see that.
And yeah, you can go and you can tell me what channel or what when you go. It's being a punk.
Yep, Discord will do that.
Let's try to do one at a time. See if
Does
that
any
helps.
other knight have their own airship? Are we the first one? Are we the best one?
You're the first airship.
Nice.
Because I feel like this
Put that-
this campaign's
That's on the
like,
ad, Matt. Like, we get our own airship.
I mean, this campaign started by crashing an airship. So.
Yup. Ooh, what is this? So I'm assuming that's the power source at the second level.
Ooh. I like that.
Oh boy. Interesting. Okay, so I'm assuming those circles are part of the masts. That makes sense. Yeah. Oh no, what is that?
Oh, it has a little bathtub.
Yeah.
Hot tub.
I don't know. This is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Paellans creating some kind of like a library or like a arcane workshop.
I feel like that would be in the living quarters or the lower deck.
Lower. I feel like Paellin thinks whatever he does is the most important thing being done, and so he would stick it right in the middle of the like.
That's lower deck.
Yeah, lower deck.
Hmm.
This is really cool.
I feel like Tara's gonna want to like add on to our wherever the mead and ale is. Maybe have that what's that jug called where you can choose alcohols?
Oh,
Oh,
the cask of what's that called?
I think I know what you're talking about. I don't have the name for it.
Or if Matt allowed, instead of that, if it could have like the effect of the pendant of I forgot what it's called, like that
Oh, the
pendant of
drunkard?
alcohol. Yeah, the drunkard for everyone. So if they actually drank it once a day, they get it. This is like the same thing as like a greater healing potion or something.
Yeah, I love it.
Awesome.
Nice.
I think that. So do you want that in the living area or do you want that in lower decks?
I mean, it's going to be wherever, probably close to the kitchen area, just to be realistic, to like wherever the barrels of alcohol are.
Yeah, well, the kitchen's probably more in the living, but the barrels and the storage of alcohol is going to be in the lower deck.
Oh, okay. I guess it would be in the lower then, because that's where the supplies would be. So there's probably like something like that on the wall that keeps that area where if you drink it, you get that effect once a day, once every 24 hours.
Mhm.
So in case somebody's like badly injured, you could take them down there to.
I like that. Given the magic sense of that, which of the, and this could be any of the ones who have any type of magic, even as first level spells, which character did you work on that with? Who helped you?
It would have to either be Paellin or Galadriel, maybe Azok, I would assume. Unless, because I don't know what the magical capabilities of.
Yeah, Monty
Everyone is.
theoretically could because of runic,
Hmm.
but
Oh, then yeah, definitely. Then Monty as well. Any one of them. Then I'm kind of learning people's. I just know that Tara doesn't have any magic, so.
yeah. So I think there's a project that linked that into the runic power source to make it so it functions upon the ship. It's linked to the power source of the ship. I think that makes sense to me. Yeah.
So yeah,
Yes,
it does 4d4 plus 4 is what it does. So I think that's like greater.
Cool.
Absolutely. I think it's once a day.
Yes, it's once a day.
All right. And so, Paellin, you wanted your library in living or in lower deck?
Living, I think.
So there's the living. There he is. All right. Who else?
Jinx is going to be taking the figurehead on, of the wolf figurehead, of course, but she's going to be taking the canine figures and making them extend a little bit larger to represent her vampiric features. And in the eye slots, she has the gift of Mistwalker, the dark gift from growing up through the mist. She's going to be putting talismans into the eyes of the wolf
Oh.
to either allow us to be able to walk through as a mist traveler or maybe Misty Step, one of the two. It's up to you, Matt. But
I like the idea that maybe she doesn't know. What do you think?
yeah, I like that too.
It's more ritualistic. Yes, this enormous wolf on the front.
That looks very now almost vampiric and has these weird. If nobody probably recognizes the talismans that she puts in them because they're from the Shadowfell.
Amazing. So yeah, so right here we just have a big wolf.
Hell yeah.
All right, who else?
I think Monty, if this is possible, would like to carve some runes around the ship and to imbue it with the soul of the storm giant, where it has a maelstrom aura, and we can figure out how you want to make it, because this is something that's an ability, a feat that you can choose, but it sounds kind of cool for the ship. So basically, it creates an aura of magical wind and lightning in every direction, and it does. It provides. It gives you resistance to lightning and thunder damage. Attack rolls have disadvantage from creatures that don't have true sight, I guess. But I thought that'd be kind of cool. Or something similar.
Yeah.
It's part of the soul of the storm giant. Is where I kind of was pulling that out of.
Absolutely. I love it.
Just as, something that's kind of, it's a protection for us in case of trouble.
Yeah, I think so let me throw this out on what everybody thinks. Is there a first job we could do next week where you could get the thing that makes that?
I think so.
I mean, yeah, if it protects the ship, I think that's a good investment.
On the way to this destination
Yeah.
thing, and we kind of purposely stopped to get some information on it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
As long as everybody's with that, I just thought it sounded really neat for the ship.
Yeah, it's really neat. It's really powerful. So I would just love to link it to something that's like an achievement of the group.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's right. I love the idea. I think
Gotta earn it.
I want to. Yeah, basically. Very cool.
Paellans watches you draw those schematics up or sketch out where the runes will lie, and he's looking at his little library plans, and he's like, "Oh well, that's why we selected."
He'll just make something for himself. Azek, did you do something?
I'm not entirely sure. Probably because I'm having a hard time figuring out what the objective here is. Are we finding additions to the ship that equate to magic items?
No. The point of this is to make the ship your own.
Got you.
The idea is you find something connected to the ship. This is where is my favorite part of the ship. Here's a mark I made on my favorite. People are going magic just because they think that would be really cool. And I'm okay with it, but I think and the whole thing, like Tara's really into the drinking, so that's where she kind of
yeah.
is like, let's put this in here, and I've heard of this deal. So it's however you want to do it.
Yeah, I'm torn because I feel like with the way this party is shaping, and what they might need for their adventures here forth, I think Azok is going to lean more into the de facto healer, probably. So I feel like he will kind of find the search, like a searcher's quarters would be on any ship. You'll probably just lay claim to that. I feel like you kind of just take stock as to what sort of things are left behind for him to use for the adventures yet to come. And I feel like I can't think of anything else any further than that, other than this is just something that once he's stepped on and he's seeing everybody kind of gravitate towards a certain part of the ship, he kind of is just, for lack of a better term, vibe checking. Just like where kind of his energy is taking him in a particular direction of the ship, and he probably finds himself at the surgeon's quarters.
Okay. What's something unique to Azok that like they arrange it in a certain way, or?
Yeah, so I feel like if there's any kind of there's like any sort of natural light, he'll unfortunately will kind of want to cover that up. So like he'll kind of just take whatever's left around, like he'll put some cloth or some sheets up and kind of just black out the room. He'll light it. He'll put a couple of candles out, and he kind of just starts unpacking in a way that kind of just brings out some your typical druidic incenses, oils, and just like anything that would look like a survivalist's den, and just putting out all these things out in order, which ends up becoming a mess just around the room. So whenever you see Azok in this room, it's just cluttered, messy, kind of already starts smelling like there's something that's been unfortunately rotting here for a couple of days. So he's just like content with just making this a familiar space to what he's used to.
I love it, like rotting, the slight tinge of undeath.
Yeah.
Goes into the surgeon quarters. That's amazing. You're growing the penicillin from mold.
Exactly.
I don't need that. I just start staring at with the stirring a mug. It was just something like this. That's what it's for. There we go.
Yes. Perfect. All right. So you gathered back up, awakener. She looks. Well, what do you think of your ship?
I feel like she's not quite ours until we've broken her in on the voyage.
Indeed. Now,
But it is a most generous gift, and we are, of course, grateful to you.
I think we have to christen it with like a wine bottle.
Do I have? I think I have some wine from long and long ago. I have one bottle of Evening Dream wine back from all the way in the Menagerie Coast. Like he'll kind of pull it out of his bag of holding, and it's already been opened before, so it's already like. So I don't know, and he'll just look at you guys like, I don't know if like it's supposed to be an uncorked bottle, but we could. I'm content with just tossing this on the ship and christening it like that.
Oh yeah, I can take care of it.
Cool.
By the way, that's a terrible idea.
I don't think Azok knows you enough to argue, so he'll gladly do that.
Oh God. We're about to damage the ship.
I know, she breaks a hole in the...
I mean, we kind of already have a glimpse in the future. This place is already getting kind of wrecked.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Might as well start now.
All right, so yeah, she will. She throws the wine bottle against the side hull of the ship.
Improvised weapon attack.
Yeah, it
yeah,
is.
do it. Improvised weapon attack.
Okay, at least it's not a 20. That is a 26.
Jeez.
Yeah, roll damage.
Damage is 16 bludgeoning.
Okay, so that's going to reduce down to 1.
Okay.
Jeez.
Because damage by creatures to ships for all this is always going to be your damage divided by 10, rounded down. So you can know that if you ever do if we do air combat. Ship weapons to creatures is multiplied by 10.
Oh yeah.
Look at these ballista again.
A fire ballista, I am drawn towards that.
Want me to throw another one?
But unfortunately, I was saving that for Zadash. But
So with that it shoots, like it goes in. So like I was saying, 1 damage to the hull. It is a big dent.
Oh, God.
And like it doesn't pierce, but it is like there's this wine stained dent now that she's like, we do not. We were leaving tomorrow. You're taking that with you.
Azak will kind of just run 2 fingers against the wine, like wine stain, lick it. I'm gonna have to go buy a bottle next time.
Insurance.
It's an additional point of damage more than the fight. Okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
I mean, I'm gonna have to go back to the coast and get another bottle.
So, goes. All right. Now, I just tell you, it is best to keep above the clouds. Wherever you go, you can grow. There's 2 ways to disembark. The first is simply jumping. If you have magics that will keep you from dying, always works out well. The other, I did rig something. It's a bit over the top, but as long as you're a place where no one sees you and you cut it down quickly, you should be fine. I have the beanstalk grower. Drops a seed, beanstalk comes up, wraps around ship, you go down.
Oh, I kind of like. Yeah, I like it.
Just be sure. Then the beanstalk will reattach and keep where you are. Keep it above the clouds. If it is seen, most people don't believe there are any other airships besides the ones that have been made by the other races. These are secret. So be careful. Above the clouds there is a whole world of nastier creatures than you'll find below. So, again, you ready? Your ship should be good.
All right.
Awaken, I did have a brief, well, actually, I'm not certain, but I did have a request. You've already been so generous, but I was wondering if you had any research materials on the collar's construction that you'd be willing to share. And, let me preface this, my primary interest is in replicating the communication faculties that the collars imparted, not the compulsion, but being able to communicate indefinitely across vast distances would be of use.
She looks at you. I trust you, Paellans, because Esme trusts you. You certainly can look at what I have here. I'll give you I'll make a copy of that portion of the collar technology. The idea of it leaving here and being able to be captured by the League, it's too terrifying for me. If to give you the whole thing.
I understand, of course.
So she will take the next few days before you would have left, and you do have. It's a lot of her notes and the way she got it. She'll say, "I don't." It's linked into the whole system, so it's actually to the Hell's networks. Travels through the lower planes, but might be able to figure out a way to make it different. But here's what I have.
Yeah, and Palin will express tremendous gratitude and just kind of marvel at how these devices that brought him to Awakener's doorstep with the intention of killing her is now ideally being leveraged in a benign way. And he'll like dig into the research, fascinated.
Above table, is there any way to help aid Palin in building what he's trying to create for us?
I think probably throughout the journeys and all that.
Gotcha.
Do a little bit of stuff. I think that's a good deal. All right, then I know it's a little late, but still going to take it. Let's go ahead and take a break.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's.
I was like looking at the time. I was like, okay.
Yes. Alrighty.
I'm back.
Back.
Alrighty. So, I think from this, after the going from the ship, it's gonna be about it's probably a week of getting the final things together. Anything you'd want to do in that week? Doesn't have to
Pub
be anything
crawl.
success game.
Pub crawl. Pub crawl.
I feel like rolling on that fun table from Tuesday, Matt, is going to be a great thing to do.
That table.
Hey, Tara. We should convince everyone to go on a pub crawl.
Yeah, let's go.
Paellans, have you ever been on one?
No, Desert, and is really wise considering your more tenuous. Aren't you worried that you might get hungry or thirsty when you're disinhibited like that?
You know, it actually helps quell the beast. Kind of puts it into a slumber sometimes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, well, in that case.
Pups have food and drink and all sorts of stuff. Come on.
Yeah, we're kind of, Tara, we're talking, yes, okay.
Azog is super happy this is happening. Like, he's like, throughout, like, for as long as you've known him, he's had, like, just the cold, deadpan, resting bitch face kind of thing. And for an Eladrin, doesn't look good. But, like, once, like, the talk of, like, going out for drinks is here, Azog is actually in more very lighter spirits and is, like, actually getting rid of, like, some of his weaponry. He's like, I don't need this. Puts down the rod, puts down the shield, puts down the vermis shroud. Just like, I'm ready to chillax. I feel like we need this
Okay.
before we start doing some stuff.
Pub Crawl Giant Edition. So,
Yeah.
if we're doing it this way, this is going to be a D100 roll. I will give you the end of your journey when you wake up the next day
Oh, Lord.
and the circumstances of it. And you will come up with possibly how you get out of it. And more importantly, how you got into it.
I got a 7.
Starting strong with 7 for Azog. Okay. You. All right. Okay. Okay, I got it. You wake up and you turn and you see next to you in your bed the genie from the wardrobe closet.
Okay. Let me finish my food real quick. So, we started the night before we even went out. We wanted to check on Mother Esme, see if she was down. Couldn't find her, but the genie from the closet was hanging around. So, Azok in his uppity spirits today, because we're going out for the first time in a while, probably ever, with this group. Invites him, and I think there's a side of Azok that didn't know was there after a couple of drinks. And what started off is just like, just bar shenanigans, like, celebratory shots at the first bar. Everyone gets around, like a round of drinks, and then conversation ensues with everybody, and then there's just loud talks of just like the crazy things that they have done. Like Azok will go into detail about seeing a great worm birth before him, and one of his a cleric in his former party setting off a trap that ended him, and then they quickly revivified him for a second, and he'll like go into like go further lengths and like disrobing like a portion of his robes and like showing some like scars, some like small burn marks that are packed around his body. And we'll move on to like maybe 2 or 3 more bars, and Azok and the genie are inseparable. Like they'll like just like getting more personal into their stories. Philosophies on life are getting thrown around quite loudly, and then you lose them. I want to probably on the way to the 4th bar of the night, and Azok will wake up, not remembering what happened, and then look over and be like, "I don't know. Hi, what? did
Fabulous. Absolutely fabulous.
what it was? Well, wow, Azok, I didn't know you had it in you. I'm gonna get some coffee." And Azok will kind of just get up, check out the window, see if there's anybody outside. Hello?
All right. Next D100.
40.
All right. You. Oh, where would you normally sleep?
Right now, either outside of Paellans' door or outside of his window.
Okay. You wake up in your usual spot, stretching on your bedroll, and everything seems normal. And then you hear a knock on the outer door.
Hello?
Before you see a large 9-foot man who has the holy symbol of Anton upon him. You recognize this as a grand paladin of the giants. Goes, I just wanted to say thank you for helping me break the vows last night.
Hell yeah.
Oh! That actually happened, huh? Oh god. I did it again. So, I need to tell you something. We're not actually together. It was a one-time thing. Really, you're really kind and like nice and all, but like this happens to me a lot more than you think. Like they call me an animal in the sack for a reason.
Josh, thank you. Thank you.
But, yeah, please don't tell Esme, I think her name is. I don't want it to get back to my brother that I already screwed up an alliance of some sort. I gotta go. And she just like runs out the window.
I shouldn't say the grandmother of, but I'm the paladin of her order.
Ah, shit!
Next D100.
84.
All right. numbers. You wake up within the common room, are surrounded by the voices of children. You see it is some type of orphanage here. And all of them, they were going, yeah, he's the one who ate the last of the cookies.
That's a lie.
We saw you.
It's still a lie. I eat children.
Ah! All right.
I'm just kidding. Now get up, brush the cookie crumbs off of my fur. Lying kids. Turn around, walk out.
Paellans and Tara left.
All right. That is a 6. Yeah, 6.
Okay. You wake up in your bed with the orc from your flashback.
No way.
Oh, the one I hit with the table?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Oh man.
Yeah. I think Tara kind of wakes up, looks over, sees him, and she's like, not again. She gets her stuff and she leaves.
Do Ezok and Tara like hop out the same time, just going like, "What happened? You have fun tonight too?"
Yeah.
I would have pickpocketed him first, though.
Oh yeah, you're side of fan. Give me a story too if you want. It's up to you.
Yeah, I think this has happened a couple of times on the
This
ship.
guy.
Yeah, they fight a lot and then they make up. Sleight of hand. Okay. All right, that is a 28.
Okay, yeah. You take all his money. 10 gold.
Bingo.
Stealing hearts, stealing purses. Dang.
And then I'll make my way out.
All right. Balin.
We got some hoes on this team so far.
We're establishing it now.
Yep, guess so. Didn't know that.
17.
Okay. The lows today. Okay.
What's the Awakener?
You
God.
wake up on the floor. There's something sticky that sticks you to it. It's when you realize that you're not in your clothes. You look, you see it in the corner. Outside, you just can like see through the window in reverse a name in giant that translates to the skinny pole. And you're not sure where the G-string came from.
Yeah.
Like somebody always rolls the G-string one. I've been in this thing like
Yep.
3 times.
Yep.
You do see within the G-string there's about 11 copper.
Ah.
And this cloth circle that has been stuck in there. And as you open up the cloth circle, it's folded. It's blue and velvet, and there's the eye that represents the token of the Awakener.
Hell yeah.
Oh, you did it.
Okay. Well, that's certainly one way to build diplomatic relations, I suppose. And Paelans gonna kind of like consult his journal at some point and kind of meticulously take down anything that he can remember.
Any details you want to remember?
Well, if there's anything that could be leveraged for future blackmail purposes,
Well, say you get to make up the story. That's my
yeah, I think Paelin, you know, with some liquid courage in him, was emboldened to fraternize with some of the elite of the giant, tribes, and was able to glean some really profound insights into their alliance structure and political machinations. On top of realizing, like Marvella said, he actually has a passion for performing. Who would have known?
Thank you.
Hell yeah, man.
Amazing. And that ends the intro of everyone. We oh goodness gracious, we're in for tonight. Anyone watching? Thanks so much. And we will get back to our adventure next week. Good night, good night.
Oh man.